way. Woo.
I'm going live on YouTube. Bam.
It's done.
It's done. I did it.
You did it. Can we go live? Can we go live? I can go live on Facebook.
Go do it, girl.
Producer. We off the cuff. Without the music.
We off the cuff. I mean, we're gonna bring it in with the music and stuff like this, but we just getting it up, gearing it up, and stuff like that for y'all right now. So, just to give everybody a chance to come on in and to also tell them to go to
YouTube. Go to what is YouTube?
SipsTea the Show.
SipsTea the Show. Please go to YouTube page
and please subscribe to our page. That way, you will get you'll get a warning or a notification the same way you would with
with Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I say this?
Please say
I'm gonna unfriend all the Can you do the same thing though? Well, can we say if y'all don't want to watch the show on YouTube, you ain't gonna watch it on Facebook?
Yeah, well, we should just stop broadcasting. Yeah. All right, so we about to get this thing started. I'm glad we
Ebony said it's not up.
What's not up?
It's not up on YouTube. She just said that.
It is so.
I'm just telling you.
What do you mean? Ask her to go again.
It's called SipsTea the Show.
SipsTea the Show. Let me know. Yeah, y'all need to go over there. Please, who else is going to tell us this?
Exactly.
So please go to YouTube. If you are in the tea spot, go to YouTube and tell us if you see our live broadcast.
But in between time, we can't keep the people waiting. So we got to get
we're going to get into it or whatever. But it's very nice that you guys are joining us from, I see y'all over on Eb Deceleb's page. You guys are on Instagram, are on SipsTea the Show page as well. SipsTea the Show page as well. I'm in stereo. Did y'all hear that? I'm in stereo.
Are you ready? Okay, yeah, we're ready.
We're ready. We're about to bring it on in.
You have to do it. Yes, do it. I'm her hype man over here. Hey, don't shake like
they do so.
I'm having a minimize it. Sit down and fucking push it. Hey.
Okay. You know that healthy shake. Okay. Or something. You know what I'm saying? That only gets you hype. That gets me hype. You know what I'm saying? You know, ladies, give us some booby shake. Give us some booby shake. You know, shake it, don't break it. You know, I don't do all that. You gotta train them. You know, they say just boobies are like kids. You train them up in the way you want them to go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They can go to the right.
So if you want them to bounce, you need to start teaching them how to bounce. We fit the bounce, you know. So, Cleveland is everything. We're not gonna have these movies doing what they do. Or, but
I keep mine.
You start them down. You know what I noticed? I was looking at some old footage of a show that Eb Deceleb and I were doing about 4 years ago. And when we broke from that show, we were actually going to go do our own live channel. I think I had inspired all my co-hosts, the female ones, to actually show some cleavage. We're going to have to actually load that one day because I tell you, if you know GemDTwin, you see the double D's. Like, I like cleavage and I like my boobs and they're out. You know what I'm saying? I feel empowered by my boobs. So what we're going to do is, at some point, we're going to have to post that so people can see.
You know, I'm a little conservative.
You conservative. Her boobies will be out and she'll wrap a little, scarf around it. And that's fine because they
enough so y'all can see.
Sometimes it's a personal thing anyway, but it's really not. And this is what I say, at least, about my cleavage. It's not really about everybody else. It's about
you.
It's about me. It's how I feel. I feel like a woman hear me roar, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
When my knockers aren't knocking, But yes, by the time we finished our stint on Listen Vision, and we had that one broadcast where all of us ladies, the ladies of Just Loud, were sitting together, and we were having our own broadcast. The boobies were out, except for who? GemDTwins. On this particular day, I was in a sweatshirt, but everybody else, I was like, okay, looking back. So that was great. But anyway, happy hump day, everybody. We are here. You are watching SipsTea the Show. Thank you for tuning in. We got you on YouTube, and we hope you guys are getting used to.
Can they comment on YouTube?
Yes, you can comment on YouTube, but I will say this. We can see your comments more on the T-Spot currently. And it's because we're looking at our monitors and we actually have the T-Spot illuminated because a lot of you are there. And a lot of the people that actually comment are on the T-Spot right now. So that's kind of why we want you guys to join us over on YouTube so that eventually we are broadcasting from YouTube and only YouTube, and then we share it to Facebook. Facebook can see it after the fact.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
After.
So right now,
last to see it.
Yeah, if you want to comment, then go ahead and join us in the T-Spot. But definitely go to our YouTube page at SipsTea the Show. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us about the show. Tell us what you like, you don't like. Be nice.
Oh, you can be. You
can be that way, but you gonna get all of this. You might get all of it.
You can tell us more about what you want to hear about, and if I choose to talk about it, I will.
Definitely. No, I'm just saying, this is a positive energy, a positive space. We try to keep it positive at all times. And I believe in constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times people get the criticism part and they forget about the constructive portion. So, let's
be constructive with your criticism.
Be constructive. Be constructive.
And speaking of positivity, guys, we're gonna get into it because of the fact that we got another special guest in the building. A personal favorite. It's the reason why we're all the way over here.
Yes.
You know how we normally do, hip to the clip like a Nextel clip.
Okay.
But we be hip.
Yes, we're usually very close.
So there's a reason why this chair is empty. But before we get into that, we're gonna talk about
we're gonna bring it in with our positivity
and everything like that. You want to start with yours first?
Absolutely.
Because mine is very positive, but I gotta check a bit. So you go ahead. I'm gonna let you do you.
Okay, yeah. So let me just bring it in. It's really positive. It's still positive. You know how it goes. Sometimes, the dark and the light are both equally as important. So my positivity, it came from a place called Evolve Blog. If you guys are on Facebook or if you're familiar with YouTube, people post the most positive things sometimes, and it's really helpful. No lie. Sometimes I'm, scrolling through my Facebook and I don't see nothing but negativity, anything. But this posting, it was a video by Will Smith. Gotta love him. I love him.
I love Will Smith.
But Will Smith was on the Evolve Blog, or Evolve Blog had his video, and the video was on fault versus responsibility. Now, fault versus responsibility, the reason that this is important is because we like to place blame a lot of times. If something is wrong, you want people to pay for it. You want to say, you did this to me. That's why this is happening. This happened to me. That's why this is happening. But while we're placing fault, it's very true. Like, I know personally, there's a lot of people in life that have done me wrong. But guess what? Those people are not here, and it's not their responsibility to move on. It's mine. So a lot of times, so it really spoke to me when I saw this, but it was Will Smith speaking on fault versus responsibility. And a couple things that were really important that he said, to the point I had to write it down, baby. Let me quote you correctly, Mr. Smith. The road to power, self-power, empowerment, all of that stuff, the road to power is in taking responsibility. Like, it's your bag. The Bag Lady song? That's your bag. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might have gave you baggage, but it's your bag. It's your baggage. Now, you can choose what to do with it. You choose whether or not you're going to dump it at the door. You choose whether or not you're going to take it into the next relationship. And yes, these things are easier said than done. But once you take responsibility for it, hey, I got some baggage. Hey, this is my not so great quality. You know what I mean? We all have a lot of attributes, but we also have some things that aren't so great about us, each of us, because we're human. But when you take responsibility for that particular thing, when you take responsibility for your own actions, your own reactions as well, because you can only control who, self-control is the only control. You can only control you. You find some power in that. So the road to power is in taking responsibility. That was one of his quotes. Another one was, when we are jammed and trapped into victim mode, we are stuck in the suffering. And that is very, very true.
when you are still saying that such and such did this to me, or this happened to me and it was such and such fault, the only place you are is still talking about the bullshit. Like, you're still there. You're still suffering. You have not grown or moved beyond it. You know what I'm saying? You haven't told your story, got it out your way, and dropped the baggage at the door. You are still stuck in your suffering. So I felt like that was really powerful. But my last quote was from Will Smith during this video. It's a great video. I actually posted it on my page, not GemDTwin. I posted it on my page under the government name, the government, Keleeba Scott. So you guys can see it there. But it is under Evolve blog. I'm sure they have a lot of amazing things that you guys can look at if you want, you know, something empowering and uplifting and things like that. But the most important thing that I got out of this video was the last quote on fault versus responsibility. He said, your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility and it's yours alone. That's your responsibility. So we have to take that personal responsibility, take responsibility for your happiness, your own life, you know, and make them moves. You know what I'm saying?
Make them money moves.
Make them money moves. Make them moves, period. Maybe you don't want money. Maybe you just want to be rid of it all. You know? You got to burn your own sage. You know what I'm saying? You got to do your own thing.
Burn some sage. Like, some negative energies.
So who you about to read, Eb Deceleb? You said you was going to read somebody.
Well, I'm not even going to read anyone. I'm going to make a statement and let it be understood.
Okay. It's still going to be along lines of positivity or not?
Yeah, of course it's positive. Okay. I'm always positive, but I'm going to keep it all the way real because a lot of people have been saying lately, Ebony, your attitude has been, you know, what's going on with your attitude? And I'm like, really? What do you mean by my attitude?
You've been a shitty bitty mess?
I haven't been a shitty bitty mess. I've been real as I only know how. So I found a quote that was just so
befitting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says, don't confuse my personality with my attitude. My personality is who I am. I will not change. But my attitude depends on who you are.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So when you like who you are and you did that little frowny thing, it's because you might catch the smile, you know, you might catch the frown.
I'm never going to change who I am, but if you're giving me bitchy, I'm going to give you bitchy back.
Yeah.
So my attitude depends on who you are, individual people, but my personality is always going to be happy-go-lucky. But it can switch up if you switch up.
Yeah.
That was my positivity.
So who makes Eb Deceleb not so happy?
Okay, I just thought I had to throw that out there because a lot of people, you know, this is a great show, a great platform for us to speak our truth and give tea and all these great things. But a lot of people can't handle the tea, right? Yeah. They want to take it. Oh, well, you know, people can't handle truth,
and everybody has their own truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how you feel about certain things, about yourself, how you react to certain things. That's all you. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, you know, unless you find fault in it, I say, hey, do you.
Do you. Handle you. And don't look at another, oh, what's your tube? You got a tube? No, baby, I don't got a tube, but I'm giving you what you're giving me. Okay? Because my personality didn't change. It's how I reacted toward you that changed and made you feel some type of way.
Okay.
So, you know, that was my positivity, even though it didn't seem like, but it's real positivity because you could have a really great day. You're a great person, a happy person. But if somebody's giving you a whole bunch of shit, you're gonna still be a great person.
Yeah.
But my attitude is gonna change
at that point. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
All of us great people can be taken out of our square. Because you know I get to woosah several times a day.
So I just felt like that needed to be said. You know, just to the people, let you guys know. You know, we're on a move. We're on a grind. We're grinding. Once again, I just want to just throw this out there. Thank you guys so much for watching the show each and every Wednesday. We're going to keep coming each and every Wednesday with the truth. But if you see me on the streets, don't act like you don't know me.
When you see me in the street, shawty, you don't know me. You about to tea out there like, you don't know me.
Don't act like you don't know me. But here's the thing. My attitude is a true representative. You give me shit, I'm going to give it back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
I'm going to say Eb Deceleb's, you know, new quote. Okay, perfect. That's perfect.
And I'm going to say it like, perfect. Wonderful. Anywho, moving on.
So we just finished with our positivity. You know, we have to bring it in we have to bring it in on a positive note. And sometimes in order to be positive, we do have to read people as well.
In a positive way.
In a positive way. Because and there's nothing wrong with saying to somebody, excuse my French, you got me fucked up.
Basically.
You know? And if I got me fucked up, let's fix that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, you know, we do these things to ourselves. And if we are taking responsibility for things, you know, and you have your own, like sometimes we let people put us in a position.
Yeah.
And then we get mad at them. So let's not do that either. You know what I mean? If I let you do something to me and then you put me in a position I feel like you shouldn't have done, and then I got an attitude with you, that's not you having me fucked up. That's me having me fucked up. You know? I forgot that Keleeba is not about that life. That's what I forgot in that instance. So, you know, let's move on. But I'm super excited.
Okay.
Yes, you have
to. I just need to know.
Yeah.
Does my special co-host want to come in on a song? What's your favorite song?
Yeah.
And don't say it loud.
We have a guest. We have a guest.
I already asked him. He said,
damn!
It don't matter.
Okay. When your producer do her thing, okay. All right, the DDT.
We just got real psyched because our producer, you know, I call her producer bitch, but she ain't a bitch. But she is a producer bitch, okay? And she be on her shit. You hear me? Y'all better get at her for your music. I will plug her.
You know what? And the DDTINC is doing constantly and consistently doing new things and growing as a production company as well. And we are all doing this together. We're trying to make moves and grow together. So,
absolutely.
And it's a prime example of, you know, how each thing can, you know, one hand can wash the other. You know what I'm saying? When we're not being crabs in a barrel, some great things can come out of it. You know what I'm saying?
And we always brew her, but she's definitely, I mean, she's on us. I promise you guys, you don't even understand. Sometimes when I don't even want to hear the producer bitch, I sit a little message in the messenger. Producer bitch. Oh. Let me start writing collateral for next week.
Funky music, produce bitch.
So, I'm excited, guys, because we have an awesome guest. All those who do know me know I'm heavily into the fashion. I post here and there, but I've always been into the fashion thing. It's really been a true love for me. This person is definitely a true friend to me. I've worked with him on a lot of great events at my job, and he's just out here doing amazing things. I'm going to definitely let him represent himself. I got some questions I've always wanted to know the answer. But now I can ask him and it'll be okay. Because I asked him, I said, is there anything off limits? He said, oh, no, I'm going to open that.
Now I'm thinking, so you guys, if you tune in on the T-Spot, we can see y'all comments and y'all want to know something.
Stuff,
yeah, let us know what y'all want to know. We'll get all up in his business.
Because he said we can. So
you know.
That's the great thing about the tea. Because we get into the tea, we don't make, but you know what, my nigga? We did not say, is your cup full?
Oh my God! Is your cup full? Okay, because we about to fill it up.
We're brewing tea.
We brewing tea. We are brewing tea.
Okay.
We pouring in.
With no more, because I know y'all ready for us to shut up and see what we talking about.
Right.
I'm going to let him come on and introduce himself. Now, where's that music? I don't even know we about to play.
Oh.
He is such a mama.
Hold on.
Turn up a little louder.
Hold on.
It's coming.
Hold on.
I feel like we should stand up.
I feel like we should be doing something. We got our man Harley in the building. Harley. Yes. Thank you for saying hello to our guests here out in the SipsTea world and not just waiting for you. And the last personal page. So yes, everybody, we are super excited. And he is coming through dripping.
I'm finna run out of hand.
You know what?
If she a stripper,
Cardi
rapper,
B is
singer, I'm gonna be dancing a belly, my ticker. I think you're feeling like bitch, I'm the
Even when I don't want to start dripping, I gotta drip.
Can't do drip. Can't do drip. Can't do drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they dripping.
Can't do drip. Can't do drip. Can't do drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they dripping. Bitch, you a thought ain't tripping. Put on a knee, make a lick. Respect on my wrist in the business. Oh, bitch got mad out distance. Got a new man to a rich nigga. I put a check on a bitch nigga. Fuck your whole set in your clip, nigga. Got a gang full of dirt and broke nigga. Diamonds on me with the price. I'm not getting involved with the hype. I'm too good to get into a fight.
I'm not
going to just give out first.
Okay. So it's a
We gotta have some kind of time.
Yeah,
so, are you gonna come and try to father the child? Or are you just like,
why you all up in my
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Oh, see, in that case, I might need you.
See, you better find out if these donors gonna be a daddy or if they just gonna be a donor.
So guys, this is Harley Morgan. Once again, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I have a list of questions, but I'm gonna let him talk first because then I wanna know some shit. So introduce yourself.
All right, well, what's going on, everybody? You know, just want to make sure I speak to the people.
Yeah,
we up in the building. Y'all got some good energy.
Thank you. Do you feel it radiating?
I feel the radiating over there.
Booyah! From across
in our
the
studio
room.
audience, by the way.
Yes. So I hope that this is transcending, that you guys can feel this out there in SipsTea land as well. But yes, go ahead, Harley.
So, I'm Harley Morgan. I'm the CEO of ROE the agency. I'm the founder of Indie Fashion Week. I am the end all be all of fashion in DC.
Wow. Don't you love that?
Yeah.
That sounded so cute. That sounded like
And my agency, we just opened our branch in Philly too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. International.
Makers, you know,
yes.
like that.
I liked it when you said I'm the end all, the be all, you know, of the fashion.
Let me tell y'all something. He is not lying because I have put on some shows. He has put on some amazing shows on the rooftop. I never knew the rooftop could look like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so when I said, you know what? Oh, okay. Well, you want to do your pageant show because we had somebody do a fashion show. I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna look good. Oh, can you send me some pictures? Oh, we want to do it because just based off of what he did.
Yeah.
So he's definitely
absolutely
not lying. His stuff, it looks amazing every time. I be confused. I'm like, was that guy here at the camera?
Right. So I am here for it.
Yeah.
I am here for it. And you guys look out for that video because should give you some sneak peeks of Eb Deceleb in her other world that they can't breathe, doing these things. But that also meant that she could meet some amazing people like you. You know what I mean? When you came through dripping, you know, and obviously you made such an impression that, you know, she's like, oh, Keleeba, you need to know him, you need to meet him. And it was also a part of that was your energy as well. You know what I mean? You being, and this is the reputation that precedes you here. You being a very open person as far as, you know, we talk a lot about kind of getting rid of this whole crabs in a barrel situation that we have, but you being open to bring people in like, hey, we're doing this, you know, come. If you're about that life, we might be able to make it happen.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely. I don't believe in the crab in the barrel, you know, like I like to see everybody elevate. Me and Evan talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do it by yourself, and I'm not intimidated by nobody else's shine.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. You shouldn't be.
So, you know, why not? If I got it, I'll make sure that you can get it.
Yeah.
You know? I'll give you the plug. You get it on your own.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, there's no harm in helping the next person.
Because a lot of times that's one of the things. Like, you know, networking is huge.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of times we kind of.
But also networking without a purpose, like networking with the purpose, but networking selflessly. Mm-hmm. And I say that to say is for him, he brings business, he plugs people not to get a reward from the end, but just the position.
Right. And that's what I was going to say.
It's hard to find those
people
type of people because they're like, okay, what is in it for me? I've done events for him. I've done events for his friends that have nothing to do with him. Mm-hmm. But guess what? He's always there to support it. It has nothing to do with him. Yeah. He just brought it there. Yeah. So that's a very rare person to find. Yeah. You know, and that's somebody you want to definitely hold on to. Keep going.
Unfortunately,
I'm just waiting for my question. So, you know, you keep going. You got anything else you want to say? You want me to get right into the questions? Let me know.
I mean, fashion, entertainment, you know, that's my world. I've been doing that since 2000. I was a model first. And I mean, I done everything under the sun. So
okay. Did y'all see when he was dripping? How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
6'3". So you know he came through on that runway dripping. Okay. You know how they do the tall guys too. You know, you gotta come out there and give it. You brought it. But yeah, and I admire that because I have my background in also that life, and if it's your thing, to see you grow in it, not just hey, I was a model and then it kind of stayed there, but you were a model and now you are what? The end all, the be all. Okay, hello. And now you coming through dripping up in DC and Philly. Okay. Yeah. So shout out to, you said ROE, right?
ROE, the agency.
ROE, the agency. So you guys can go and look him up, and
So what does ROE stand for?
ROE is the acronym for Righteous Ones Entertainment.
Ooh.
And that name came about back in 2001. My business partner at the time, our very first show, we did a fundraiser for Archbishop Carroll.
Okay.
And that's a Catholic school.
Yeah.
That's what we named the show, Righteous Ones Destination Fashion.
Okay.
But it had such a good response, and it was sold out. And my partner was like, "He's like, this is gonna be a good luck. We need to take this name
and go." And
so we renamed the company that because of the success of that.
Okay. But don't you like it when something has a reason behind it? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's always a story to connect the dots.
It's not because it was Richard Oliver Edwards,
right? But I mean, for branding purposes, we just use ROE now.
Yeah,
that's how everybody recognizes it.
Awesome.
And speaking, and not that you guys, the Met Gala was just, it just so happened we have a famous designer bigger than the other people, the producer, but we're going to really get into that because I wanted us to talk about the do's, the don'ts, your likes, your dislikes of the whole Met Gala thing. But what are your, because you just said something about, never mind, I'll say that for Suga Honey Iced TEA because I have my whole feelings behind that. But you just said capitalism, so I'm going to say something.
Yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to get in that. Sometimes we got to hold back. Yes, because Eb Deceleb, I think we need to get into some other things. And just so that the people know more about you. You know what I mean? And what's going on with you. And so go ahead, girl. Go ahead, because she's over there. She is. That's what I'm saying. She's itching. And I can feel her energy. That's what I'm telling you. I know my co-host. I know my
see, if we would have pre-put you up there, they probably would have wanted that. They might want to, are you single? The people want to know.
The people do want to know.
He's not single. Let's go. Next question. You gotta say,
how many M's did have?
Keleeba, are you single?
Yes. Not single. Wait, I thought she was gonna say it. I'm sorry, I didn't even listen. Damn.
I didn't. Oh God.
I'm not single. I thought she was.
I just said that. She said she was single.
I did not. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else.
I expected that proudly. You said yeah.
I thought she was gonna say, Keleeba, are you in a relationship? Because she already put it on the show. She already put me and my girlfriend on blast. Like she put us on blast and was like, yeah, so y'all relationship.
Are you single?
So I thought, I'm sorry. That's what happens when you
producer to get too emotional about the question.
No, I am not single. I am in a relationship. I am in all the way love, and I will not say when somebody asks me, "Are you in a relationship?" I do not answer.
Okay.
Let me clarify. Let me come through dripping and clarify real quick.
Make sure you do because we don't want the cameras to go off.
Yes, please know that GemDTwin is taken and shaken and not stirred.
Okay.
Don't break up with me.
So you just made that question. So you just answered the question so quickly. Are you single?
No, let me hear what you said again. Are you single? No, I am not single.
Are you single?
Me?
Yeah.
I was not listening.
I am in a situation.
Okay. A situation or a situation? A situation ship.
You can say he plead the fifth.
A situation is like, okay, well, yeah, we live together, but I could do without him. And, I could do without this person, but a situation ship.
Situation meaning there's someone that currently has my attention.
Bam! Yes, that is a situation.
They're like a ball.
Yes.
Will that have any effect on the sperm donor?
So?
Okay.
Discuss it now before it actually becomes a relationship.
This when something happens. Yeah. I'm like, no, I was already told this on this day. So,
right. It's on camera.
First question is, so we had a little list of questions that people might want to get to know you as a producer and your own business and the indie fashion and everything. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's happening?
I'm sorry.
You guys, we're gonna have to bloop her out.
Are you good? I'm still thinking about the relationship question.
Are we good?
Wrap it up.
All right. And so, how long have you been interested in fashion? Let's get down to the business.
Well, okay. When I first started like modeling, that was in '99. Mm-hmm. But
He's not telling his age.
I like the I didn't have a problem telling
my age. I know that's right.
I'm 35.
Wow. Black don't crack sugar.
Okay. He's still a young snapper.
Okay.
I was more interested in the lights, camera, action than fashion in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I grew into fashion. So
okay. So you like to more produce. You've always been the producer.
in the beginning I liked the attention. I liked the ovation that you get as a model. I was attracted to that. Then I liked the productions and all that stuff. Then I got into liking fashion and stuff.
Okay. So it was like almost like a domino.
Yeah.
I'm not really like a person that's all about labels and stuff. Like I like style. I don't really like fashion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That would be one of my other questions, but I'm still gonna ask it. So what motivates you in this fashion world?
Well, I've met and I know so many creative people, like people that make. I think it's like a superpower. You can make you can design clothes and make something out of a pile of fabric.
Absolutely.
I think that's amazing. So I've met a lot of people that do that very very well.
Yeah.
And I like to showcase artistry like that.
Yeah.
I like to put people in position to position themselves. So that's kind of what motivates me to do that. Like always looking for the next best thing, so that everybody else can see the next best thing.
And have you seen any? I mean, I know the last show you did, they had like a what was it? It almost looked like not fiberglass, but it was like plastic, but it was like a plastic coat or something like that. What was that? That was. Oh God, that was.
I mean, that was a designer. That was Nikki Hendricks. She's a part of the DC Fashion Incubator, but she's one of those people that she observes her competition. She tried to step completely outside of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And make something completely different. Using well, I don't know. I don't remember. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the composition of it, but I know it's completely different from everybody else.
And that was one of my, actually, throughout all the show, that was one, he had a lot of different designs, but that was my favorite.
Yeah. It was like, you see the ones that stick with you, you know what I mean?
Was like, I was like, oh my God, I would never thought that, you know?
Yeah, it was very edgy. It was
very
avant-garde, it was good. It was very good. And I like finding people like that and putting them in front of other people. So we can talk about it like we're doing that.
Right. Fashion pieces that are actually conversation pieces. And sometimes they make them out of the most amazing, pieces of, sometimes it's like not just fabric that you would go to the store, but just like you said, this particular thing. I think I saw something back in the day where somebody made something out of like trash bags.
Mm-hmm. People can do anything.
Yeah, just anything. But and I love the arts, period. So I guess it kind of transcends. It's just a different form of artistry, making clothes. And I would love to be able to do it, but that's not my forte.
I wish I had the thing pulled up where Bow Wow said recently. He said always spending all our money on all these labels and things like that. When if you take off the label and sold the shoe at Payless, I guarantee you wouldn't sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm definitely I'm not about a label. I don't really care what a label looks like, because fashion, I believe the person creates the fashion.
Yeah.
You could wear something, I could wear something, but you could wear it totally different than me. Yeah. The person actually creates the fashion.
Can I ask you how you feel about the Kanye West, that line?
The Yeezy line. Yeah, what do you feel about
the Yeezy line?
You
don't want to talk about it? No, is that off limits? Okay.
No, I might be biased. Kanye West is like, he's like family. You know, he can't do nothing wrong, in my opinion.
Never mind.
But
moving on.
You know, I mean, it's streetwear stuff. I mean, that's not my end of fashion that I like, that I really like for real.
Yeah. But, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was a thing because I don't talk about nobody cousins in them. But so had I known, I would have left it alone.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it ain't terrible, but it ain't great either.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, the shoes.
Thank you for saying that. See, I don't like those either.
I don't like shoes either. Have you ever tried them on?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I was told they were real comfortable.
They are very, very
okay. Well, if that's the reason why they cost a couple $100, then whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the reason why. But
that might be a piece.
Yeah, but just like Eb Deceleb was saying just a minute ago, from Bow Wow. But sometimes I feel like the things that we see, if you snatch the label off, then it's like I wouldn't wear that, for nothing. Like you couldn't even pay me to wear it. Certain things. I'm not saying that I'm gonna reserve my freaking opinion about your cousin. But
I wouldn't wear that.
I mean, it's
I could make what I could make it. I could just go get a shirt, put it in some dirt.
He does well. He does well.
She said throw it in dirt and cut holes in it.
He does well putting a vibe behind his clothing.
Yeah.
So people buy it because they buy it because they feel what he's talking about.
So I wonder what he's about to come out with now then.
But you know what? I do find it funny. I do find it funny though that a lot of times people with a lot of money do things to make clothing, make shoes, make whatever to look like they don't have money. Because I found that to be, inspired by a lot of, less than, situations, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it I'm not saying they look like homeless clothes, but I'm just saying that they look like you've been through some things. In the case in point, we were in a car accident before. We got out the car. Everybody was okay, but everybody's clothing was kind of torn to shreds. And I remember seeing a sweater in that line that looked very much like the clothing torn to shreds, from the car accident, something that we didn't necessarily make. But that's just my take on it. Like I see a lot. I mean, I just see a lot of things that, people who don't necessarily have a lot like to look like they have a lot. You know what I mean? We take a lot of money trying to look like we have more than we do. And then people that have a lot of money take a lot of money to try to look like they have less than they do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We trying to, it's hard as a mug to look like we Versace and Gucci and blah, blah, blah down. And you're taking a lot of money to look like you don't have no money. You know what I mean? So I just find that a lot out here in the world. That's
real ironic.
I mean, it is. It's very ironic. It is very ironic.
Think about it.
It's very ironic. But take a look at it. Now that I've said it, and you guys out there in SipsTea land as well, take a look at that. If you know some people that actually have money, they're not pimping and prepping the way that you do.
No.
The way that you try. A lot of cars and clothing and materialistic things in our low income communities.
Y'all spending all that money.
A lot of money on the cars and the material things in low-income communities. So we know that there are other things that you need that are probably a little bit more important. But where we see your dollar spent are in places that, and it may just make you feel better. You know what I mean? About being where you are. There's a lot behind that as well. But, that's my tea on that one. So y'all just open your eyes and watch it out. Stay well. Stay well.
That was definitely an eye-opener. I never thought of it like that. That was definitely an eye-opener.
Maybe that could be a fashion show idea. What do you think? This and that. Maybe, we'll talk about ideas later. Yeah. But yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eb Deceleb.
No, so that was gonna be my next thing. So what do you think about fashion today? Like, where do you personally? Fuck that question. Excuse my language. What era what brought the best fashion to you?
I think the best era of fashion was like in the Great Gatsby time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because those outfits were amazing.
Oh wow!
Everything was like tailored,
Kind of what they're doing now.
Highly accessorized. Everybody really cared about how they looked. Everything was high quality.
Yeah.
And you didn't come out if you wasn't completely put together.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
I think that's the best era of fashion.
The feathers and the red lip, baby.
Everything.
Yes.
I mean, everything. Everybody, wasn't stepping out. They wasn't gonna do it right.
Yeah.
And that was definitely the best era.
I miss that though. I miss some of that.
That is true. Yeah.
I miss some of that. I miss some of that because now we have. Not necessarily we don't come out, we have bonnets. People go out with their hair bonnets. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things that would just, I was too, girl. I was told, don't you dare never.
Or no holy drawers, because if you get in an accident and they want to see your drawers and your bra, you gonna.
My grandmama and your grandmama must have been at the same place talking to me.
I don't go out the house.
Men wearing suits with tennis shoes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cute. That's nice.
It's cool, but that's not super fly.
Yeah.
But I like that look though. I ain't gonna lie. I like it when it's like Converse.
I like it too.
Something like that.
I like it too, but if you have a man standing with a suit and tennis shoes on, and a man standing with a suit and some fresh loafers on.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, technically he got you, bruh. Yeah, he got you.
No competition.
Yeah, if we doing who wore it best and who wore it worst. You're right. I think a lot of the subsequent fashions after the Great Gatsby era were more of a rebellious kind of spirit behind them. That's why we're gonna throw on. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. My Sweet 16, I had on a bodice, a nice flary ball gown type thing, and it was black and white. And underneath, I had on black and white Chucks. But it was more of a rebellious thing. Like, I didn't want to be just the debutante, just walking out. I wanted to be who I was, it was more of the Cyndi Lauper, like, girls just want to have fun.
It's okay. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's not bad.
But if you want to, rank.
Yes, but if a sister showed up in my same dress and she was standing beside me with some 3-4 inch heels that was killing them, I would have been real mad because she would have showed me out with my little Chucks on, okay? But yeah. So I feel you. The Great Gatsby was a great era.
Like with the fashion world, they started losing money, so they had to downgrade. So that had a big part in what fashion is like now too.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Retail changed for everybody.
Yeah.
And you got to downsize and downgrade so you can still profit. So that's how H&M and everybody became popular.
Yeah, and they got to change and all of that kind of stuff. So our producer is making sure you got some tea, honey. I'm sorry, we got you on here without the tea. Is your cup full?
So how about really quick so we can get through this?
Yeah, because we have to get your input.
What was your hardest thing about breaking into the industry as a model? Then also because I've met a lot of people who have been models, and I had a really good friend of mine. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but he was into the whole. Leon was beautiful. Like he had a great spirit. However, he got into the industry underneath the wrong people, and they kind of took advantage of him, right? They took advantage of him. They were kind of showing him the glitz, the glam, that type of stuff. But then also before you knew it, he was shooting up lines of coke and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's real stuff like this. Like, and a lot of models do face that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what is some of the hardest things that you had to struggle with as a model, or even where you are now, to keep people motivated? For you, it's about getting people together and having them see that vision. But also as a model, what was some of the struggles that you struggle with as a model? Because now you have a lot of models out here.
Well, when I was a model, like a model, that was a while. That was a long time ago. But it was different than now.
Okay. Right.
But back then, like when I learned.
Or what do you see your current models struggling with? Like, do you see them struggling with being anorexic or stuff like that?
So that's how I was gonna tie it together. Like back then, it was more of like the kind of like the standard model. Like you have to be
straight sized.
You got to be tall. You got to be slim. What stopped me back then is I didn't want to cut my hair off.
Okay. Oh wow.
And stuff like that, But now
it's not even
all of that is
out the window. Yeah.
And my models don't have no problem. They switch up whenever they need to switch up. But
yeah, I
think the only problem for them now is like the social media models competing with them because like if you are more savvy on social media than the next person, you'll get the opportunity first.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have the skills for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
because it's the picture and they pick you off of some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like followers and likes and all that stuff.
Because you could be just as popular but not have the strong social media presence.
Yeah.
How do you feel that all of these shows that are coming out now? Because I will say, honestly, with the way that social media, TV, everything is, they provide a platform for you to get out there. However, you do have to have that social media following. Case in point, like Love and Hip Hop helps a lot of, artists who are up and coming. All these modeling shows, makeup shows. What are your thoughts on those shows that, do you feel like they are a real representation of true models and what they go through, or do you feel like it's kind of played out, or what are your thoughts on that?
It probably sounds cliche, but like America's Next Top Model, that was like the best thing that could ever happen to models.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was like, if you like watched it, you could really learn.
You could learn a lot.
You learn a whole lot from that.
Yeah.
Minus the drama. People got caught up in that.
But of course.
You really paid attention to the stuff they were talking about, you could learn a whole lot.
I think the drama only just made it.
It made
it reality. It made it more widely acceptable to other people who were not interested in it.
To watch it.
If you're interested, if you're in that world, because I remember the first full figure model that they had on there and seeing kind of her struggle, and at the time, I could definitely feel her. I was like, wow, Takara. Yeah. But I could definitely feel what she was going through and, feel it at home. Like, girl, push past it. Like, you don't even have to worry about that, blah, 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 blah. Having my own thoughts about her situation and what she was going through. And you just want her to push through and stuff like that. So, yes, but from a model standpoint, it's so educational. It's actually educational from another person's standpoint. I think they had so much hoopla and
because some people say, like, they say with all the drama, even they say this with basketball. I'm not going to use basketball, but still, I'm going to use it because Basketball Wives, you have Love and Hip Hop, American
Those are just reality shows.
But also, so that's what they were saying about American Next Top Model. Do they believe that it is a strong platform, or is it another just a reality?
Well, I personally feel like they need to separate some of that stuff. American Next Top Model, I really feel like that was not the same. I don't think that they should put that in the same
bracket.
Yeah, in the same bracket. Don't talk about those two things in the same sentence. So say Big Brother or something like that with the reality, Love and Basketball Wives and things like that, but not.
So how I kind of like divided when we were talking to somebody about it is you have a competitive show and then you have a show just to have a show. Love and Hip Hop is a show just to have a show. They're not competing for anything. Then you have all of these the cooking shows that it's competitive, so it brings in a different mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're gonna have that. Everybody's being competitive, so one's gonna get the other, so it's gonna still create that reality. However,
because it has a purpose.
It has a purpose.
Yeah.
So you have shows that are just there for entertainment, whatever. But then you have shows that actually have a purpose. You're gonna win something. So I was talking to that about.
But the plus is. That stuff is entertaining anyway.
Yeah, but it's still entertaining.
Absolutely.
Fashion shows and the photo shoots.
Because behind scenes at those fashion shows, honey, and at those rehearsals, sometimes it's a whole lot going on. So what do you think about the models overcoming some of the barriers? And then I know we do need to move on because we need to get your take on some of this tech time that we got going on. And for our Suga Honey Iced TEA segment as well. But I'll just ask you before we go out of that, to talk about maybe overcoming some of the social media, because it is something that we have to be aware of. If you are a model, if you are in any bracket and you're trying to self-promote or anything like that, you have to incorporate social media. And so if that's not your strong suit, especially if it pertains to a model, if it pertains to somebody a designer, if it pertains to anybody, what do you like? Do you have any advice for them besides get yourself together with the social media presence, or is there something else that they should do?
I think that even if you're not the strongest social media person, like everybody has to use it. Like, I don't like it either. Yeah. But you have to do it. But you have to be consistent with your excellent work. Yeah. Because what I've seen, being the head of the agency, it's been times where it has come down to like one of my models and an Instagram model, and they go based off of numbers and all that stuff. And so that model may get it first. Yeah. But when they get in person, you cannot perform. They don't land it. Yes. Then they'll cycle back and want yours and bring them in. And they're like, well, we should have did this from the beginning. Right, absolutely. So do you develop, let me ask you that real quick. Do you help develop models or? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. So listen up, guys. We do all of that in-house. Okay. And I personally train the men, and then we have, someone that does the women. Okay, awesome. Okay.
So where do you see yourself, and then we're going to wrap it on up. Where do you see yourself going? What is your vision? Where do you see our ROE going from here? I mean, obviously there is no limit. You're getting out there doing great things, but where do you foresee yourself going in the next 5 years? Are you looking to start up? And you already have your agency. Do you have a location and everything like that? No, here in DC that people can come to. Do you look like open up a nonprofit? Like what are the dreams?
Well, we don't have. Right now we have like a home. I have my home office, but since we're event based, I don't really need an office space here. Okay. But my goal, like in the next 5 years or so, my long-term goal period is to have an ROE in all the major cities, and that's nationally and internationally. And whatever city we move to as an agency, we're going to drop an indie fashion week there, so that we can showcase all of those people that got that talent, same way we do here.
That's awesome.
So in 5 years, we'll probably be in 10 states.
Booyah! You heard it here first.
Or 10 countries or whatever. It don't matter. I mean, we'll be all over the place.
Yes.
And we'll just keep doing it until.
And Philly's the first stop, right?
Yeah, they're already there.
We're Philly there now, and then after Philly, we're gonna go to Miami.
Did y'all do anything in New York or no? You were just in New York.
I mean, we do things in New York, but it doesn't really make sense to start anything in New York.
New York got his own thing going on. Okay. Well, you know what?
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much. Well, he is still here for the cause. So you know what this means, guys. It is tea time. It's tea time.
Yeah. This is when we gossip. My favorite part.
We're gonna give a little bit of gossip. It's gonna get a little bit of gossip.
Is your cup still? Oh my. Okay.
Yes, we
can have to empty.
My cups don't last.
Can I get a
My cup don't last.
I know, right? Okay, so at least we're also learning some other things about him.
What?
That cup don't stay full for long. We gotta keep.
Are you more of a wine drinker or?
We got 6 feet 3 inches of wine to go through. So
wine or like what's your favorite beverage? Wine or you like a cocktail or beer?
Okay. Because I was gonna say. Okay, pass it over. Oh,
they're not sponsoring the show, so let's stop.
Yeah, we can't show the bottle. Until you guys want to sponsor our show, I will say I'm drinking a little tequila right now.
Maybe God knows what.
I'm not exactly. So if you guys are tequila sponsors, you got a new brand of alcohol coming out there. That's actually one of my aspirations. But if you do, let us know. We can actually talk about putting your. No, good. We're gonna actually talk about putting your liquor on our show. You know what I mean? So, but until then, we shall sip from the cup.
Try and get us real. She knows what time. She knows when. Let's get them drunk real quick because they got to start talking.
Yeah, but it's tea time. I'm gonna tell Eb Deceleb is drinking water. Boom.
I am.
I did that.
Why, because guess what? My fat ass is still trying.
And I'm irritated. I'm irritated by it. No, I'm just joking. So it's tea time, y'all. So we're gonna get into this tea, and you know how we feel about the celebrity news. Celebrity news, yes, but we want to gossip a little bit. But how does this pertain to you? How does this pertain to us on a natural level? So Eb Deceleb will bring it, and I'm gonna bring it on in.
Oh, are you going first? Let me go first.
No, you go first, and I'm gonna tell them why this pertains to their life.
Okay, well, okay, then all right. So I think speaking of, we have our fashion guru here, so it only would make sense to talk about what's recently happened this last week, which is the I'll let you say it.
The Met Gala.
Perfect, the Met Gala. And you guys, I came with notes. I'm gonna tell you why, because my producer bitch said you need to start having notes.
Okay.
So I wrote my notes down.
She came through dripping with her notes.
I sure did, didn't I?
Awesome sauce.
So
I have notes as well.
So for me, for tea time, a lot of talk was to say at the Met Gala, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj made up.
I saw that on the Shade Room. I saw that on the Shade Room. She did a whole public
thing. You know, she said that. You know what I'm saying? Like Nicki had a problem with me, and I guess I had a slight problem with her. But you know, we're cool now. Everything's good. We're all women. Per the Shade Room. Source the Shade Room.
We source the Shade Room. Okay. That's what you all said. We ain't say it first. That's what you want.
That's what the Shade Room said.
That's what you want now.
And then some of the for me. Oh,
but we need to talk about that. Like, okay. So let me bring this home to you guys. Okay, the reason why
they was beefing now.
I mean, I knew that they were beefing, or I knew that we created a beef for them.
I
don't know. I do think that she, if I'm not mistaken, also on the Shade Room, reading a little more into the story, she apparently had this thing. She went on Howard Stern and she kind of talked about the whole talk that they had. She did not, and I'm going to say this about Nicki and Cardi. Their beef. Cardi went on to Howard Stern. Okay, so Cardi's on Howard Stern, and she's telling him. You know, of course he's going to ask. Of course they got to ask about the beef. One thing she did comment on the fact that, you know, the media makes up a lot of the beef.
Yeah.
Another thing she said that she felt a way, you know, about something. And she thinks that Nicki felt a way about something. And that they just needed an opportunity to talk about this something that they felt. And she would not disclose what that was. I feel like.
What was the something?
That exactly. People are asking, what was the something? No, but I'm going to tell you how I feel about her not disclosing the something.
Oh, she handled it.
I feel like
you know, I can tell you what the
something
is.
They're going to comment about the something. The producer wants to tell us what the something was. Can you guys hear
about the song Motorsport? Remember that song they all
Motorsport.
Yeah.
Migos, Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj did better than Cardi.
What about it?
Nicki Minaj felt, and she has an interview on YouTube. With different people, so you can catch it on YouTube. She felt that Cardi B and Migos kind of like dissed her, put her out there kind of in a negative way because something about Cardi B uses her hairstylist, and they were supposed to be in a video together, but some kind of way they didn't get in the video together because the hairstylist couldn't do Cardi B and Nicki Minaj hair at the same time or something.
Oh, get out
of
here.
So they felt a little way about that.
No,
and Nicki said that she felt like when Cardi B did interviews about the motorsport situation, she didn't give props to Nicki Minaj as far as recording with rap icon or something like that, and she took it back to when she first started. The first
Little Kim.
She started with not even with Lil' Kim. She said her first real icon rapper that she did something with in the beginning was Trina.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And when they did something together, you know, she gave Trina praise.
Okay, but let me say this as well.
She didn't praise Nicki Minaj.
Okay, so let's talk about this. There are two things with that. Okay, she didn't get her praise, and if allegedly these are your beefs, I do remember there was a whole situation with Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj, and the whole thing is what we've talked about this on the show before:
respect.
Paying homage
paying homage.
Showing respect. And then, so now, if that is the case, now you see how it feels. Okay. Period. Nobody ever feels what somebody else feels until it happens to you. So if that is the case, let you take that moment, let you feel the realness, let you see how it feels, and maybe now you'll think a little bit, because like she said, the producer was saying, okay, so Nicki performed with Trina and she gave her homage. Sometimes you wrong people and you don't understand that that's what you're doing. Because what came out
Cardi B could not even think that highly of Nicki Minaj, to be quite frank.
She probably didn't.
She probably didn't.
She may not have. I don't think she's really so heavily into this whole music thing that she was so aware.
I think it's a difference from, you know, like not thinking she's an icon versus Cardi B thinking, oh, I'm on her level too.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's not right.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody came before you. You just gotta say you came before me, right?
And Nicki Minaj may feel like that's the vibe Cardi B has.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's believable.
Yeah,
I can see that.
But some of your feelings also, let's talk about this too. Some of your feelings, have to do with your own perception of the situation and your own perception of yourself. And I will say this, being in that business sometimes, I'm sorry, you can't help it. We're all human. There's a new person coming out. Even Remy Ma, she was real about her shit. Yeah. She was like, I didn't like it at first. You know, in interviews, when the whole little situation came out, when Cardi B stepped on the scene at first, she was not about that life. She was like, yeah, I didn't like it. You know, I didn't like what she was doing because it was like, oh, all of a sudden somebody is stepping on the scene and she's not an artist. You know, people who are really, really serious about that are like, did you put in time? Now, I will say this. The trouble is music is for everyone. No one owns music. That's the problem. So everybody can get into music. You can actually come from absolutely nothing and just bust up there with one. But that's not really how it works. That's not really how it works. You know, that's just what we see. But she did give her homage, you know, later. She was like, I found out that she had all this. She was actually trying to be in the industry a long time ago. So she, you know, kind of did that as well. She gave her little props.
But that's correct. But Remy Ma is correct too.
Yes, absolutely.
Like they all correct.
Everybody's right. It's all about perception.
My thing is, to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, Motorsport was a great song. However, I highly doubt if Cardi B was not fucking Offset, she would have even been on that song because she sounded like, I mean, be honest with you, her part sounded like it didn't belong on the song to me.
On Motorsport?
On Motorsport.
I don't know. We'll have to play that, but we
offset this, offset that.
Well, he probably wrote it. Like you write it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
or somebody did.
Somebody did. Because she didn't write that. She didn't write her lyrics. She didn't write her stuff.
You listen to her old stuff compared to
her new stuff.
Yeah.
She didn't write
I mean, but they can say the same thing about Nicki Minaj.
But
you know, they say
exactly,
but they're saying when Safari was writing it, you know, it sounded different than when whoever.
He rapped just like that.
Okay.
But here's the thing: Nicki Minaj never even went down in history. Oh, I write my own. She never ever said that.
She absolutely.
Never said that.
Good for you.
She never didn't say it.
She never did.
I wouldn't say it either. I'd be like, say what you want to say.
The bomb in the beginning.
So now
she was the bomb. If you look around
back then when she was a dog.
She was the bomb. No, that was.
Okay.
Were you a lesbian, Nicki, or
she was a lesbian, or
I'm talking about like before she, like when she was underground, she was doing.
But you know,
in New York on the apartment. Yeah, in the apartment steps rapping.
That was the Dawn era.
That was the Dawn era.
But I mean, that's what people know.
She had the big earrings.
But you know, when it comes to New York, because we got to give it a little bit of something because they have their own vibe and their own energy.
But if you notice, though, when you're underground is when you produce your best. Is when you become popular. It's like you
produce somebody else's stuff. What they say you should do.
Like I love the old. I always will say this, Cardi B. I love the old her. I'm not a fan of the new her because, quite frankly, I'm tired of hearing about this nigga. You would think I'm fucking this nigga. Many times I gotta keep hearing about.
Let her talk about Offset and her boo.
And like I said before, she better never leave this nigga.
You know what? But let me tell y'all this: if Eb Deceleb was in the music industry and she was in a relationship, y'all would hear it in the song.
I would not be fucking talking about nobody else.
Y'all go to Monkey Christina's page if you want to know.
In the industry,
we talk about. We said we're gonna keep it real on this show.
I wasn't a real time loving hip hop. My
said we're going to keep it real on this show.
We keep it real.
If Eb Deceleb was in love in a relationship and that was the field that she was in, she would probably be just a posting and in love in them songs, girl. You love like a mug, and we all see it when you do, baby. Don't even try it. Let you get some good
Cardi B, you better never break up with your nigga because then your music career is
and that's the same thing. We were talking about social media, and we were saying, when we talk about
serious, that's all we talk about. Yeah. Offset this, offset that, And if y'all notice, and I'm a
she turned Offset on, and she do something else with Offset.
And she does this with Offset.
I just wish
I wonder if Offset goes hard for her the way she goes hard for him.
I'm an independent contractor. I'm trying to offset
mine. And none of the Migos, you don't never hear him mention no Cardi B shit.
He ain't.
That sounds like a whole other show talk.
It really is. So, moving on. We're going to move on.
And speaking of Offset, since we're talking about him right now, you know what's going on with him. I wrote my notes down because guess what he
when she get a note, baby.
He did stand up though. He did stand up when the whole thing about fighting the fan. He didn't fight the fan, however. His crew fought the fan because the guy was like, "Oh, you can't speak, you can't say hello, this, that, and the third." And then the guy was like, in her shade room.
Okay.
No, but he was like, "Why you keep talking to her? Why you keep talking to my girl?" Like that. And the guy was like, "You need to go and take care of your kids instead of buying all that jewelry and shit." And then speaking of jewelry,
they probably took his little jewelry. Like, okay,
at the Met Gala, he got robbed for his chain of $150K. He's saying somebody at the Met Gala stole it.
I'm sure they did.
They stole it off his neck.
Yeah. Why are you putting? That's what.
Yeah,
he set it down.
See, the producer just said something.
That?
Exactly. How do you feel?
Met Gala stole his chain.
Where did you get it from? What I'm gonna say is, at least
off his neck, or did he sit it down?
Sit it down or something like that.
Say it again. Off his neck. Continue to ask that question. Off his neck. Because where did you put your shit? Like, have we gotten so out of control? I know y'all think you used to dealing with celebrities and you used to. What country are you in that you got all of this jewelry on, or that you just take it? Where did you put it, honey? If I put this ring, and I can't even remember. This ain't called a whole. If I put it over here, I'm gonna be looking at Harley like, no. I'm gonna keep on checking that spot. Look, not because I'm assuming that he's gonna steal it, but because it's my shit.
I got that one little mobile watch, and I constantly do a little arm shake just to make sure that bitch is still there.
Pandora, y'all know these damn.
That's just like y'all saw Safari got robbed in New York.
Oh yeah.
You want to walk with your damn fur coat in New York?
In the middle of the hood, nigga. You deserve to get robbed, nigga.
They probably were not even going to rob him.
Exactly.
He had all them chains and a fur.
They probably had no plans.
Nigga, you come in the suit, nigga, I'm going to rob you. I'm like, oh, look at this fly nigga right here.
Again, I went to Catholic grade school, and the nun said, you know, if you flaunt stuff like that, it's your fault too. You done made somebody sin and steal and rob and all this other stuff because you. Why would you put somebody in that situation?
It's like him walking down Berry Farms and he about to walk right in and walk right out. No, nigga, they taking you.
Yeah, don't come to DC.
Child, come to DC with that.
DC naked.
Let's move on. We can't. I'm done with y'all. Y'all just made me done with the whole situation. Your tea time is over. Your tea time is over based upon that.
They over some stuff. And then the last little bit I'm hearing about, I want to talk about, what do y'all think about Bow Wow? Because he's going through this whole.
We'll talk about you later, Bow Wow.
You don't want to talk about him?
I mean, okay, so I will say this. Like I said in the beginning.
Attempt or something like that.
Yeah, and so this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah,
he
has actually been posting it. It's not anything that somebody's saying. He's been posting on his live, saying he knows why people want to give up on life, and like nobody's there for him, and he's in this world by himself. He's done everything by himself. He doesn't need anybody. He'll die alone. Like he's been posting that type of shit on his live.
You forgot about Jermaine Dupri, huh?
But guess who commented? Snoop Dogg on his comment and a Shade Room screenshot. You know
what did he say, baby? Slow down.
He said that's not true. What's going on? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what he said.
Absolutely, and I think sometimes
because Jermaine Dupri, you got Snoop Dogg, you got P. Diddy, you got the Brat, you got all these people who are there for you. You can just go out and publish and say crazy
really
shit.
Discovered him. It wasn't Snoop.
We can't even get into who discovered him. Well, that's a whole nother can of worms because he might still have him.
Suge Knight and Daz Dillinger from the Dog Pound.
Really?
They don't want
okay, so maybe that's why he feels. I don't know. We don't have enough showtime to get into Suge Knight. Baby girls and boys.
He just came out and said it.
Let us not do that. Let's do that on SipsTea After Hours. Let's do that on SipsTea After.
He came out and was like the people. No, because Bow Wow went on.
Babies, girls and boys.
Bow Wow
SipsTea
went on. What's that show?
Y'all want to tune in to SipsTea After Hours or no?
And he was.
You real interested?
I am.
This is a show. This is a show.
He gave props to Suge Knight because he was like, I was the first member of the Dog Pound, and people didn't believe it. So Bow Wow. He said,
okay.
I was the first member of the dog pound back then, and everybody like, what? The
Because
dog
everybody
pound is the dog pound. What
nigga.
you talking about?
Yeah.
So Daz came out and was like, the people that really discovered him was me and Suga Honey. Yeah. Wow. And he was a part of the dog pound, but he was a puppy.
He was a puppy
joint
as a pound.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, because I be into that shit. I'm telling y'all, I be listening. I want to know. But
well, it's after an hour. Maybe people feel like they can call me now. But if we don't get through the show, that's how. No, I don't want to hear it. So now let me tell you guys about show production. The producer thinks she's going to tell us now we have 6 minutes, and I'm going to tell you. Based upon your last conversation, we're gonna have to run a little longer with this show. Okay. So because we have several segments. Okay, so let's just move through this though. As far as the Suga Honey Iced Tea, because we have to do that. The Suga Honey Iced Tea this week. I will say one of the things for me was that per the Shade Room, again, they're gonna have to start paying me. But per the Shade Room this week, did you hear that the president, I think of West Africa, the Nigerian senator invited Kanye to come out there to visit the West African slave ports. And they said, experience the choices in change.
I know that's right.
Baby, now that's some Suga Honey Iced Tea for you, Kanye. Exactly. What you need to do, because the Suga Honey Iced Tea of last week was that you said that shit. Did you hear that? That Kanye West said the 400 years of slavery was a choice. So yes, the Nigerian senator kind of sounded off on that, and he was like, absolutely not. That's kind of disrespectful to people. And again, you bring the Nigerian. I'm sorry, we have to talk about that, because the Suga Honey Iced Tea of mental health is that people are having debates right now as to whether or not Kanye is a genius or whether or not he has a mental health situation going on. And once he said that statement, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards mental health.
We cannot, because he's being outspoken, we cannot discredit who he is.
Sweetie.
And that's my issue. That's my only issue, because guess what? If because everybody has that mentality, he's saying this, let's hate him. Those are just his opinions.
No, I'm not saying let's hate him. I'm saying let's take care of him.
Well,
please.
I think it is part genius and part mental.
Exactly.
Why mental? Why genius?
But being a genius will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also say that I didn't completely disagree with his comment either.
I'm gonna have to look at you like Harvey Levin.
But tell us why, though. Tell us why.
Why didn't I completely disagree
with the slavery?
Yeah,
the slavery comment.
So what he said was, he said when I hear 400 years of slavery, he said I would think that was a choice. Now, if you think about what slavery is. You can't really say if we were there. This is a different mentality, but to do anything for that long kind of
felt like a choice.
It kind of is. Some people in traveling from one country to the other, their choice was, fuck this, I'm jumping off this boat.
Absolutely.
There's some people that was on a plantation that was like, fuck this, I'm running.
Yeah.
Some people chose to die as opposed to being a slave.
A slave, yes.
Some people chose to live as a slave as opposed to die.
Yeah, that is very true.
In that regard,
that portion, yes,
he is not incorrect.
Yes.
Now, is he completely correct and appropriate to say that?
Not necessarily is he correct.
He's not. It is a touchy subject, but
it is very touchy.
He's not incorrect.
So I think maybe it's a situation where he should have followed up with that, because my follow-up with that would be the choice was this or die. And some people chose to live and some people chose to, I think that it was just I'm not sure if the genius part, if that was just the best place for you to go
but
with.
I think he was just
I agree with. Now,
yeah, he was just providing a platform for controversy.
Yeah,
that's all he was doing.
He does.
Let me just tell you guys the reason why I have to bring this up into the show.
A genius for that.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. This is why I say
like he's really a genius.
That part is not genius.
Yeah,
no,
that's just shit talking.
Yeah,
that's not genius. Now, artistry wise, I mean, he has elevated his industry in multiple ways. That's genius.
Do you think it's on a genius? What's considered a genius?
I mean, genius in his industry. Like,
can you?
I don't know,
producer. I'm sorry. While you keep talking, I want you to actually. Can I see your phone? I want to pull up something so they can hear this. Keep talking.
This is. I just don't know. I mean, genius in the sense of music, like it's multiple things. Like, people that make timeless music are music geniuses.
Right.
People that take music from one place to another are music geniuses. Mm-hmm. People that, like can shift your mood with an album are music geniuses. Mm-hmm. Everybody. So let's not discount
his.
So he has done all of those things.
Yes. Okay. So I'm not. I can understand where you're coming from with that.
And he's still crazy as well.
And you still crazy.
But he doesn't deny that he never denies that.
That what?
That he thinks outside of the box.
Okay, so this is. I'm just gonna say this real quick.
He doesn't deny that he's crazy.
Thank you. That's all I want to
chance. There's a brand new song out called "Watch" with Kanye West, Travis Scott, and Lil Uzi. He tell you he was on every prescribed drug possible.
And that what I will say this. Someone posed this question to me, and you guys can chime in on it. You guys out there in SipsTea world, just chime in on this and see what I was actually talking about this with someone else earlier, and we were talking about the fact that his mom died, and I said, when his mother passed. It may have triggered a lot of things for him. I mean, and that's natural, and people expected that. And so, that's okay. You know what I mean? But that person brought up the fact that what if he had mental health issues and his mother was managing them, helping him manage these mental health issues. That person that is there, and I'm sorry, I have a mental health background, and so I know that there's a lot of things that go into your mental health. That's why I don't like to say that somebody is crazy. I say you have some challenge and you have some barriers. You know what I mean? Because we all on the verge. You know what I mean? Everybody has a touch of every little thing. Absolutely. So we are all, we are all bipolar. We are all depressed. We are all suffer from anxiety. It's just to a greater or lesser degree. And sometimes, we have caregivers that may have been helping us manage that. And then she just passed. And so that was a unique perspective that she gave to me. We'll never know if it's awesome true. That is another perspective that I actually never considered, that she could have been actually managing a condition for him, just like Mariah Carey. She's coming out saying, "Oh yeah, well, I've been bipolar for years, and it's been a problem, but I've kept it out of the light." He could have been going through a number of mental health issues, just like a lot of.
But you have to, and I'm going to say
a lot of us are, and that's. I'm sorry. Let's just make sure that we know. Again, it's real. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, so please look into mental health. The things. Challenge you to actually pay attention to your own mental health and those around you. So this is not an insensitive situation. No. This is really, when I bring up Kanye, because all of that could be a behavioral thing. It could be somebody didn't tell you this, that, and the other. But check on your people, and don't just because somebody is a genius in a music realm, or because somebody is does something well, does not mean that they are immune from having a mental health issue, and we should not be remiss in our duties to check on the person that may have an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something about geniuses and mental illness and things of that nature, because of the fact that I experienced it on a personal level, because my brother who passed away, who committed suicide, was technically a certified genius. He scored a perfect score on the ACT. He took all these tests. He got.
It's a very scary place to actually know some shit. There you go.
Let me tell you something. With a genius, this is what my brother's issue was. He he could fix. He spoke 11 different languages, taught himself how to speak each and every one. He could tell. I mean, he was a genius. However, he was such a genius, it drove him crazy.
Exactly.
Because of the fact that he knew so much.
You know too much.
You look at the world, when you look at the world, and you're like, a way a genius might think is, there's only two options: to live or die. And I'm being transparent as I possibly can. And if you look at, I can live and go through all these different heartaches and stresses or whatever, or I could die. And a genius would see the positivity in that, right? Or someone with mental health illness. And for the longest time, I didn't want to accept anything about mental health illness because that was my brother, my favorite brother in the whole wide world. But I was like, my brother's a genius. Why did he do this? Doesn't he know blah, blah, blah? But him being a genius drove him crazy. Yeah. Because he knew so much.
You know too much. And it's very hard if you guys look around. Kanye, that's why I say stay woke. But it is, once you have a consciousness, it's not.
And that's the thing about it. So for Kanye, he sees outside of the normal world that we live in. Yeah. And that can be considered genius. But the same token, when you see outside of that, that can also, where's that balance? He doesn't have a balance. Yeah. Who's balancing him right now? Damn sure ain't Kim Kardashian. Right. And ain't them kids. But and I wonder, did something, and I think about this too. He was he was a genius, but if y'all notice, and maybe this is off the wall, but he really started going off the whim when that baby Chicago came. But remember, they had that baby by a surrogate. Oh. You didn't realize that? So all of this started happening after that. So I wonder if any of this plays into that.
Well, we don't know.
People when they
we just
not a genius, man. He sampled people music.
I mean, we cannot even get into that. Well, again, let's do
the genius part.
I've always thought, when piggybacking on what you said, like that example of what could have triggered him
with the mom.
I mean, I've always looked at him as like, he's socially awkward. For real.
Yeah, that's how my brother was.
I honestly don't think he has any no friends. No circle. And I think his mother was the only person who was like, baby,
who really cared. Because as soon as his mother died,
he was comfortable with as
he was with Amber Rose. What did Amber Rose do?
And somebody that was comfortable with
who he was. Because she knew exactly who he was. Yeah, that's true. And as soon as that person left, where was his outlet?
And let's also say that nobody expects somebody who's in the limelight to be socially awkward. You know what I mean? And I do cite that as, one of those things that's a little bit, you're a little bit more on the genius side just because you are a thinker.
You're a thinker.
But there are introverts and extroverts in life, period. Point blank and flat out. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when we put you in a situation, because through the media, through whatever the case may be, now you are in the limelight. People never expect people that are in the limelight to be a person. You know what I mean? To be an introvert or an extrovert. No, you must be an extrovert because you found yourself in the limelight. And that's just not true. So again, we have to, unfortunately, we have to wrap that up. We need to continue.
Robin Williams.
Let's continue. Robin Williams is a prime example.
Robin Williams.
We have to. We have to remember this for Mental Health Awareness Month. And I think we can get into it a little more next week. Let's talk about these things a little bit more this month. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. We need to get rid of some of the stigmas. We really need to, and I need to encourage everybody because it's our responsibility. Because we're doing media, it is our responsibility to put it out there. If you are suffering from a mental illness, to go and seek help. You can use your health insurance. You just call the number and tell them that you are having issues. There is an access right now. Free things. The Access Helpline. If you are calling that, I don't have the number for you. I can post it on the page. But guess what? This is the era of information. I don't need to tell y'all shit. You can put in Access Helpline, and you will be able to find the number to find the help. So this is real shit. This is real shit. So
really quickly,
it's a click away.
Well, really quickly, I wanted to play this song to end on the Kanye West note. Can you just hit play just a couple minutes? And I wanted you guys to hear this. From
what is it?
You about to hear.
But what is it?
It's a female now that's pretty
over,
popular now. She did a freestyle about Kanye.
Over Kanye West's beat, Jesus Walk.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I just want us to hear that really quickly, and then we can definitely move on. This has been a good show, though.
It really has. It really has. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but in order for us to have a show, we gotta kind of like move through things, and every topic that we have, 9 times out of 10, you want to just keep on going and keep on going, but that's just not how the world works. I'm a genius, so I.
Now, Mr. West, take a seat. I employ ya. Over time, it seems it's gotten harder to ignore ya. You undo the progress of the geniuses before ya. King gave you the box, and now we know you can afford her. It don't matter how much money you got or you lack. When that check clear, don't forget your children is still black, and your music has been whacked, and your views are moving back to a day that trigger niggas, cause we still hear that with crack. I'm passionately passing out some knowledge, son. I'm a level with you, cause we both dropped out of college, son. You've been wildin' harder than New York and Sister Patterson. You're not an OG, a repertoire, do not matter, son. I gotta admit it, I'm annoyed. You came up on niggas' coin. We thought you could fill the void. You a puppet. You looked at all your fans and you said, fuck it, I'm on now. That nigga from graduation, sorry y'all, he gone now. Cold tried to warn us, Trump wanna reform us. Built him up from nothing and now this how he reward us. How you say you Jesus but did nothing to restore us? You support the people up in power that abhor us. I don't give a fuck about your clothes or your wife new naked pose or the fact that you can stand for what the people done.
I'm feeling it, but I want you guys, and I think we should just, champion Eb Deceleb for actually posting this particular thing to the page. So it's conscious rap. I love conscious rap. You know what I mean? I understand the points that she was making. I'm not sure if you guys could hear it clearly. That's why we're going to actually provide you with, some information so you can go look that up.
What are your thoughts on that song? What are your thoughts?
Well, lyrically, okay, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I feel a lot of that stuff. It's just kind of, it goes along with what we were actually just saying, but we don't know necessarily where he was coming from with the whole situation. Yeah. I feel like she felt, I feel like to whom much is given, much is freaking required. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that is just how it goes. That to whom much is given, much is required. And when you are in that limelight, you do have a certain responsibility. And you do have to check the people around him, because if the people around him, being that he is an introvert and he is socially awkward, all it takes is a conversation. But who's having that conversation with you? Your that family. No, it's probably not having that conversation with you about, hey, it's not about you. It's not about that 400 years of slavery that was a quote unquote choice. It was about, what's happening to us after that. Right. Your kids are Black African Americans. You are African American. They may or may not experience the things that us regular African Americans have to experience. We never know. I personally, and this is something, I don't know what wealthy African Americans experience or don't experience. I'm going to tell you that now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you experience or don't experience. But I do find that I'm hearing a lot of this from wealthier African Americans feel like there's a disconnect between what happens in our everyday life in comparison. Like nobody at Nordstrom's, because that's something that happened recently also per the Shade Room. What happened at Nordstrom's when they were clocking you in the store, thinking you can't pay for your stuff. You going there shopping for prom gear, and they're clocking you to the point where they have the police waiting for you outside when you get out. I'm not sure you're wealthy, born into wealth, mulatto children are going to experience that. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? So there may be some kind of disconnect, and maybe that's what they need to look into. I do again believe to whom much is given, much is required. You need to do more for your people because your people need it. Not because you got to be pro-Black, but because we all need somebody to champion for us. And if you get there to the point where you can do that,
he has a voice. He has a voice, but he's voice in his own direction.
Since we have to, move through the show, we do have a segment called Affinity, and this is where we kind of talk about love and relationships and things like that. And we kind of we have to breeze through it, but we'll just propose 2 questions for you guys. This is kind of sparked through Khloe Kardashian and Tristan.
spotted together.
They've been spotted together.
Shade room. I'm not gonna keep.
I know.
Goddamn. Shade
as you can see, we are shade room roommates. Yeah. But I will say this: it's not just most of these things. We don't just hear from the shade room, but the shade room is there, and we can definitely say, "Hey, we saw us in the shade room," because it's definitely there. But we'll see. You see it all over social media. You see these things all over social media. But we will cite the shade room just so if you guys want to find one little place to go look at it. Yeah. So Chloe and Tristan were spotted together, which got us to pose the question: when to let go? When do you let go of things?
And Fab and Emily are back together.
And Fab and Emily are back together. And if you guys were watching the show before, we covered Fab and Emily.
We did. I didn't think they was gonna get back together.
He swung on her.
He bust her teeth out.
Yeah, but guess what? After he got them teeth fixed, she's ready to go back. Now maybe since she can smile again. Smile up. Yeah, can you just smile up? Yeah, so now that he's got them teeth fixed, she's probably like, okay, you know what? It's not so bad. And I can tell you this from a domestic violence point of view. Sometimes when that physical scar heals, you can allow some of that stuff to fade away. So again, that goes with when do you let go? So let us know, guys, how do you guys feel about the whole Fabulous and Emily thing? We're not so deep into the whole celebrity news, except for the fact that this relates to everybody. Yeah. Like domestic violence is real, and so we kind of want to know how this plays out in your life. Like, I don't know if you know somebody who's dealt with domestic violence or things like that before, but I guarantee if you've known a lot of models coming through and whatever, I guarantee at least one of them has dealt with a domestic violence situation. You know what I'm saying? Multiple stories. So you know that this is something that affects our community. This is something that affects women. This is something that affects all. I'm not even gonna say just women and men. But it affects everybody.
And there's all types of domestic violence. There's verbal.
Yeah, verbal and physical, mental, physical.
There's emotional. There's sexual.
So there's definitely. So again, when do you let go? We all have our views. We all have our limits, but we have our views. I always say a woman is not sick and tired until she's sick and tired. She could say she's sick and tired 1,000 times before she's actually ready to go. But when do you let go? So chime in on that. Let us know what y'all feel about when do you let go. If you have an experience and you want to share, do let us know. And also, as it pertains to these baby daddies, because Chloe, I kind of feel like that one of the reasons why she gave Tristan another chance is because of the baby. She just had a new baby.
But that's not a reason.
It's not necessarily a reason, but how many passes did the baby daddy?
Co-parent.
I do know that this month also, this week coming up, before we see you guys, it'll be Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. But it actually brings to mind that there are a lot of single mothers out there, and there are a lot of mothers who are the mom and the dad. And maybe Miss Kardashian, especially when she's looking around and all her sisters okay with their baby daddies in some sort of way. They just are around somewhere. Maybe it's harder for her to let Tristan go, and she hasn't decided that she actually wants to do so. So to each his own.
And happy Mother's Day to
happy Mother's Day to everybody.
I'm a doggy mother.
Happy Mother's Day to you too. You're momming, so we are replenishing the earth in some kind of way. And so that would have been what we had for affinity. So you guys, let me just ask you real quick though, since you on the show. So have you been in a situation where you kind of had like a toxic relationship or something like that, something that you knew you needed to let go of, but you didn't want to? Has that ever happened to you? Or because I know the males, I feel like I've always felt like it's easier for y'all to let things go until all in.
Toxic like what?
Toxic like, this is not going to work for me and my business. This is not going to work for me. Like, if you ever had a jealous girlfriend, and that's not to let me say what your preference is. Your
so all my girlfriends have been jealous.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So how do you deal with that? That's kind of toxic. It can turn toxic.
The word on the street is a certain.
It can turn toxic. It can.
All the women gotta. I was about to say something now because I met somebody really cool. Being in a relationship affects you being in such an industry with all these women.
Yeah,
you gotta date a secure woman.
Yeah,
like seriously, no, seriously.
Most of them I thought were secure.
until
But that has to be, that is consistently tested. Do you agree?
It is.
That security is consistently tested.
But when it gets to that point where like ultimatums are given, based on trust, I completely
You're done.
I don't even.
Okay, so trust is really big to you. It
is because I feel like if I become exclusive with you, that is my trust.
Right.
My trust is there.
Yeah.
And you challenge that, we don't have anything after that.
Right. Right. Okay.
That might be because.
So y'all heard it, ladies. Okay, you're Sag. Okay.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
November 26th.
I think it's my birthday. Okay, anyway, we'll talk about that later. But so you heard it, ladies. You know, first of all, he's in a situationship, so he's probably somebody already has his eye, so don't even try it. She's not here for that.
Bitches still try regardless.
Oh, they try all day long, you know, but I think
can't trust these folks.
You know, even everybody who has to deal with I know, okay, so my girlfriend, my wife is, has a production company, yada, yada, yada. She's into music, yada. I already know.
Yeah.
There are certain things I'm going to have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I am into hosting shows, doing interviews, going to parties, being a hostess.
We might get some crazy Facebook messages.
But this is the thing. You have to know who your partner is and what they sign up. This is what you're signing up for. You know what I mean? I full well expect there to be people in the studio because guess what? That is the studio life who think, this, that, and the other. And I'm sorry, but females, we try, girl. You know we try.
Let me tell you something. You can try mine if you want to. I'm going to fuck your ass up.
Yeah, but see, and that's the thing. I recently actually went to a networking event. I went to a party intending to network. I was actually talking to a friend who was going to come on the show and things like that. And you guys know, I party, but I party with a purpose. I'm not going out just to, get my life. I'm going out to get my life, but it's with a purpose. And something transpired where it wasn't even really the wife so much, but it was the friend of the wife that kind of was trying to address me. And I'm like, sweetie, this is business. First of all, I'm a whole lesbian, but I understand that doesn't mean too much, in this day and age. But at the same time, I actually had to talk to him and say, you have to, this is your life, but you have to, and I think you can agree with this or let me know how you feel. You have to, with your life, know where you're going with your business, how important that is to you, and pick people around you that can deal with that life. Because it's not necessarily easy. It's not easy to know there are going to be 1,000,001 women around you at all times. You know what I'm saying? In order for your business to be successful, that is what it is. That's the industry, not necessarily, not everybody.
I think it also goes to the person who you're dating has to have a lot of respect for that.
For that person, that industry, for you, all of that stuff.
That's a huge factor where the disconnect.
And she has the
person, aka Cardi B and Offset, he doesn't have any respect for his relationship. That's why he's always getting called cheating. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to end out the show, but we're gonna have to detox. We need to detox you. You know what I'm saying?
How we detox?
So this is our detox tea segment.
Now, my business partner over here is long-winded today.
I'm going to bring it in and out. Oh, but y'all, you saying I'm long-winded, but when you was having a whole conversation with our producer off camera, y'all having y'all whole life for 10 minutes, yes or no. Let me throw shade when shade is due. You tried it. But we have to get through these segments, and that only matters to me. I'm over here with the time clock. I just don't care. But anyway, that's your long-windedness. We're going to go through this detox, baby. Okay. So the detox segment
is a really important part of the segment. It is.
We do the beginning. It's positivity, and we have to take it out with positivity. We just brought in some bullshit, and we need a detox from it.
So this is the detox segment.
So yeah,
mentally free.
I'm closing my damn book. You tried it.
Okay, here we go. Mentally free yourself. No, but seriously, she is absolutely right about the detox. It is very, very important part of the show. Working out, we're all trying to be losing weight. I've been fucking failing, but that's okay. Next week,
get over it. You're over it. We're over what you.
I think the reason I'm failing is because I forgot the mental part. So I gotta mentally train my mind that I'm gonna lose weight. So how I'm gonna do that? free myself of the bad energy, all the bad foods, the burgers, the pizzas, the fries, the food at my job that I can't stop eating. I'm going to free myself of that, and I'm going to do a stage.
It's called stage.
Whatever.
She's going to do a damn stage. You know what? Stage. I quit this show. I'm about to get out. Yeah, she's going to do a stage.
You want to go, Kai?
We should have... we should have saged you. Okay, so yes, we just threw a lot of things.
But no, seriously though. We're gonna sage you.
We're gonna sage you. But yes, we have to detox, and you're right.
He actually works out though. I be seeing him posting the videos on the gram.
Yeah, what's up? You need to call Eb Deceleb and DetoxTEA, and we need to be up in there.
The one right here? The one on Pennsylvania Avenue?
Because I live across the road.
We don't need the girl stalking him.
You do live up. I just went to a bomb ass restaurant over there by PG Plaza.
But ain't nobody gonna say nothing about this. Ain't nobody gonna say that. It's only GemDTwin. It's only GemDTwin.
Asian place. Anyway.
But yes, okay. So let's detox. Besides the side banter. Eb Deceleb was saying that she uses sage, and that I'll just say that we just definitely, with it being Mental Health Awareness Month, figure out those things that are cathartic to you, those things that kind of clear your energy and fix your energy for you. It's not necessarily just physical wellness, it's your mental and spiritual wellness as well. So whatever it is, get into it. Sage is good, meditation is good, talking is good. I support people, excuse me, woo. I mean, this day and age, I support you. If you need help, go talk to somebody, and please don't necessarily go talk to your friends, baby girls and boys. The friends are not necessarily, when you need serious help, it's good if you have a really, really strong support system. I don't know.
Don't call on time.
If you have,
ain't going to answer the phone.
A strong support system outside of work or things like that. Friends are great. You know what I'm saying? I call a therapist a really great friend. If you guys can, if you can get one, definitely get one. It's always good to go and talk to somebody else. You can just get it out. But sometimes our friends are just not the best outlet for that because they really don't want to hear the shit. You know why? Because they're going through their own shit too sometimes. So that is our detox tea. Don't forget, guys, thank you for tuning in. Look up Harley's
legendary H&M on everything.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, legendary H&M.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad we said that because I was about to say something else. I thought we were looking for something. So legendary
H&M.
H&M. Legendary H&M. Okay, on everything.
And they
consistency.
Harley Morgan.
Yes, those are my initials.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So look him up. You guys tune in to SipsTea the Show on YouTube. Hit us up on the T-Spot. Please make your way over to YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to have Harley back. We definitely will.
I'll be back.
Maybe he'll have GemDTwin, back on the runway. Maybe we'll do that. Or definitely, in an interview kind of situation. Well, we'll make it happen. So
more to come.
Yes, more to come. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in each and every Wednesday. And we're out of here.
Yeah, we're out.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You know that selfish shit is the virtue. How would have many white goats? Money's all I see, nothing else. I wanna be successful, but you wanna see me.
I'm gonna talk about how Eb Deceleb when I was already in this stuff out. She wanted to say, but nobody wanted to talk about it. We gonna replay this. I'm gonna take this whole hour video. I'm gonna cut it up, and then I'm gonna show her how the fuck it's actually went.
Mama want me, haters gonna hate me. Couple of your line, but keep your mind on your money. They don't wanna see you shine, but you spend time to the penitentiary. Get up, stay sharp, get money till the death of me. Money's all I see, nothing else. I want